What is going on, guys? Disney Dan here. Welcome back into the channel and welcome to episode 33 of Disney Fiasco. It is so good to see everybody here. Thank you so much for stopping by the chat before the stream. You guys are absolutely awesome and we're going to have a real fun time tonight. So glad to see you again, once again. Episode number 33. We are going to be doing a recap of 2018. The new year is right around the corner. 2019 is going to be a massive year, but we're going to take a little bit of a see what happened this year, take a look back and see what happened to everything. So just a couple of things. Unfortunately, Megan from Mickey's Magic, my partner channel, could not be here tonight, so we will really miss her, but we'll see her in the new year, and she is doing very fine. But I have my other partner channel here, Corey Fiasco. It's so good to see my friend Corey back here with us. So good to see you again, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you too, man. I've missed you. Yeah, I missed last week. Just a really crazy week. But I'm happy to be back here talking about 2018. It was quite a year. Quite a bit happened.
It was quite a year. A lot did happen. We also have two very special guests, and one guest will be joining us in a little bit. First and foremost, we have Nick from Magical News Live. How are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. I'm back on Disney Fiasco.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to have you back on Disney. I can't remember that you've been on a couple of times, and it's so good to finally have you back here on Disney Fiasco. So welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
And we also have, not only do we have Melissa here from Mouse Talk, but we have the birthday boy, Walt from Mouse Talk. So it's good to see you guys. It's so good to have you back, and happy birthday.
It's my birthday? No. Thanks, Dan. It's our pleasure to be here. We definitely appreciate you inviting us, and it's always an honor to be on your channel. And we have a lot of people in here tonight, so it's gonna be fun. So thanks for bringing us on.
It's going to be a lot of fun time. We also have another special guest coming in very shortly. But let's see who we got in the chat. We have Disney Life of Arts. Hello to everyone. I keep missing everyone's lives today. Sorry about that, everybody. Hey, Rachel, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. We have Disney World Adventures. Hey, Chris, how are you? We got the legendary R. John's here. We got Dole with Dad. Jeff is such an awesome channel. He did a great stream earlier about something to do with American football. You're asking the wrong person about American football. Michelle Verico, Kate Atwood, Noah, Isaac Nail, Disney Mitch, Kate Atwood. If I've said your name again, I'm sorry, Lisa. We got Emma and Jonna here. Samantha Lowe is here. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. It's so good to see everybody. So 2018 was a crazy year for Disney. Hey, D&G Explorers and Archangel, welcome into the stream. And I can safely say that I think 2018 was a very busy year for the Walt Disney Company. So with Disney Fiasco this week, we're not going to go so much around the table. We're going to go through the calendar year and tell you exactly what happened in every single month. Now, this stream might be a little bit longer than most of our other streams, but I hope you guys stick around because it's going to be a really fun show. We've got Samantha Paxton here and Samantha Lowe here. My mum says hi. Say, hey, Donna, what is up? It's good to see you. And what we're going to do, we're going to list off the things that happen in each month and just have a genuine discussion about it. So let's start off with January. January in 2018 was a really good but kind of quiet kickstart of the year. So we start off January 8th. We had half of Pixar Pier closed in Disneyland's California Adventure. So we had California Screaming, Mickey's Fun Wheel, and and Ariel's Grotto. Guys, if you see me look to the side, it's because I made loads of notes. So don't feel like I'm distracting. So we had that. We have half of Pixar Pier closed. We had the closure of Stitch's Great Escape temporarily. And we also had the release of Tangled, the TV series. So not a lot happened in January, but I just wanted to start picking up with, first and foremost, Pixar Pier and Disney's California Adventure. So let's just talk about Pixar Pier and how it changed from Paradise Pier and what was lost and what was gained. So let's start off with Corey. What do you think about California? And because I believe you have been to California, you've been to Disney's California Adventure and been to Pixar Paradise Pier. Why do you like this change? What don't you like about it? What do you think?
So I have been to Disneyland a lot, not since the changes. I haven't been in about 3.5 years. But I loved Paradise Pier when it was there. However, I'm behind the change to Pixar Pier. But at the same time, you know, I do have a little bit of mixed emotions, not personally, but maybe for other people. So, like, I'm totally not on board with, say, like, the Great Movie Ride going away.
Yeah.
That stunk. That bothered me because I had, like, such a attachment to it, you know? The same way that, like, I wouldn't be okay with them, like, replacing Grand Fiesta Boat Tour for something more updated because I have such a connection to it. So I wonder how, like, maybe like somebody, because my first time in Disneyland, I was in Disneyland in California, I was like 21. My first time in Disney World, I was 8. So I wonder how like a regular Californian, somebody who has been going to Disneyland forever, felt about that change. How I feel about that change, I love when they integrate new characters who I love into things like in the parks. And I love when they do that here too, as long as it's not affecting attractions that I already love. So I wonder like what a OG Californian's opinion would be on that. But for me, I mean, that's where I stand.
Nick, what do you think? Do you think that changing it to a Pixar area and taking away maybe that Southern Californian kind of feel to it, do you think that was a good move by Disney?
So I'm going to kind of backtrack off of what Corey said. I'm curious how a Californian person who has an annual pass, all that fun stuff, and goes to Disneyland a lot would think about it. I personally, so I've been to Disneyland in like 12 years. It was a long, long time ago, so I barely remember any of it. And I am going in March, so I can probably have a better opinion on most of it. I will say that I have seen like other streamers go there. I've seen the Incredicoaster. I think that's really cool how they kind of kept some of the aspect, if you will, of California Screaming and brought that Pixar Pier, brought the Pixar part of it into Incredicoaster. And I like the ride footage. I've seen the footage of that. So I like what Disneyland's doing. As far as integrating Pixar into Pixar Pier goes. And this is what I think is interesting, is that they announced, if I'm remembering right, I'm not positive, they announced the Toy Story Land opening date and the Pixar Pier opening date on the same day. If I'm remembering right, I'm not positive. And I think they weren't that far off. I think they were like 7 days off, maybe. I'm not positive. So I think they're kind of, because Toy Story is Pixar, so they're kind of trying to incorporate both of those into each park.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what you and Corey said about they didn't really change the rides per se at Pixar Pier. They only just changed the look of it, and they changed the theming. So you're still technically going on California Screaming. It's just with like an Incredibles overlay. So Walt, Melissa, have you been to Disneyland, or do you like how they've started incorporating IPs into these new areas?
Well, I'll speak for me, and I think Melissa's on board with me. We've not been to Disneyland yet, so I agree. I think this is a really tough topic for us to touch on because we're not from the area, so we don't know as much. But I'm not big on the IPs coming into the parks all over the place. I actually like the fact that it was Paradise Pier and it had a connection to California. I like the fact that it was like that. I like that connection to California. I don't know that a Californian would like the fact that it's no longer that connection to their state. I like IPs. I just don't want it everywhere. Right. I think what Corey touched on with Grand Fiesta Tour, I wouldn't be happy if that became Coco. Not that I didn't, that I don't think Coco's a great movie, and not that it doesn't deserve its own ride, but I think it deserves its own ride. It shouldn't be incorporated into a ride we already have.
Yeah, because everyone knows that watches us at all knows how salty I am about the Great Movie Ride being gone. So in looking at it that way, I totally agree with Corey. I just think it's, there probably are people out there that are disappointed. And yes, I do think IPs have their place in the parks, but it is disappointing when they have to take long-term things away to put them in there. That's something I don't really enjoy.
Yeah, and I will say this. I'm excited for the Inside Out attraction that's coming to Paradise Pier. So far, it's the only one we're going to have in any of the parks that I can think of. Yep. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to see what that's going to be.
It is interesting, and I'm kind of in an agreement with these IPs. I feel like there's only so much. I think Disney is so original, but they also now using these IPs. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is coming in. Marvel is taking over California Adventure as well as Pixar. It is to a point where but this was Bob Iger's legacy. We could talk about this another time, but Bob Iger was all about getting IPs for Disney. He got them all. So he's just got 20th Century Fox. Like this was his vision. So I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Now I just want to talk about with January, we talked about, let's talk about Stitch's Great Escape. one of the rides which I would say was quite an unpopular attraction. A lot of people did not enjoy this ride. A lot of people felt that it was very cheesy, very, just not really a Disney imagined ride. They didn't enjoy it as much. I think people who loved Alien Encounter loved it and didn't so much enjoy Stitch. And I just wanted to, very quickly touch upon, did you guys do Stitch's Great Escape? Did you even like Stitch's Great Escape? So let's go back in the same order. So Corey, go ahead.
All right. So the first time I ever went to Disney World was in 1998. And the first ride I have ever been on in Disney was Alien Encounter.
Yeah.
It scared the life out of me. It scared the life out of me as an 8-year-old kid. And then directly following that, I went on It's a Small World. It was all better. And I didn't go back on Alien Encounter till I was 12. And then when I went on it when I was 12, I really liked it. It's a very scary ride. The alien on that ride is terrifying. Like even for like a 12-year-old or like a 14-year-old, it's still a scary alien. It's like there's like a feeling of like legitimate fear with that alien. And then we get back to the IPs, right? So they got rid of Alien Encounter, but they basically kept it, except they integrated the world of Stitch. It's Stitch now.
Yeah.
And it's not scary, right? So I feel like if you take the fear out of that ride, like the breath of wind, like from the alien, like was scary because it was coming from that alien. Like the tentacles rubbing against your leg was scary because it was coming from like that alien's like alien dreadlocks or whatever. It's not as scary when it's Stitch. It's like cute. It's fun. It's like, oh, look, it's a Stitch attraction. But I mean, it was that ride, that facility was built for Alien Encounter. And then when they got rid of Alien Encounter and made it Stitch's Great Escape, it wasn't really it wasn't meant for that. So I feel like if you go on it comparing what it was before, I think it falls short. If you go on it never doing Alien Encounter, you might really like it, especially if you're a Stitch fan. But I can see why maybe they needed. I don't know what they said their indefinite plans are with this ride. It's actually still closed down today, and it's just it's a Stitch meet and greet.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're revamping the ride or they're replacing it or something, but I can see why it fell short.
See, I heard there was rumors of bringing a Wreck-It Ralph themed attraction there. I think that would be quite an interesting concept, and I think Wreck-It Ralph needs some sort of presence in the parks. We do see him in Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party as well as Very Merry Christmas Party, and I think they've started doing meet and greets with them as well, but there's not really a big attraction, and I think they would do a really great job there, especially in Tomorrowland. The thing is with Stitch's Great Escape, it didn't feel very, Disney rides have some sort of like magical presence in a way. You feel like you're going on a Disney ride, whereas I think Stitch really didn't. Alien Encounter was something that I was desperate in doing. They were actually meant to have the Xenomorph from Alien, but obviously they didn't have the rights because that went to 20th Century Fox. So it's now kind of funny that we now have the rights back. So we could have had an Alien attraction, but I think it's very strange, and I'm quite happy that it's going. I like to see something new, and I think Tomorrowland needs a big revamp anyway. We're getting Tron, and I think maybe Buzz might need a little bit of a rehash as well, because I think that's getting a little bit dated. Just don't touch my People Mover or my Carousel of Progress, and we'll be fine.
I was just about to say that. Like Disney World, learn your lesson from Disneyland. Taking away the People Mover did no good. You just now have a giant waste of space. Don't do it to Disney World. Leave the people mover there. Don't touch it.
Nick, what do you think of Stitch's Great Escape?
So with Stitch's Great Escape, and I think this is, I think on my in my June trip, I really started to notice this. So when you're riding the People Mover, Stitch actually used to come on the narration, and when you drove past Stitch's Great Escape, now there's nothing. You won't hear it. It's just the Tomorrowland music loop playing.
Yep.
And also some things from just me being in Disney World, I've noticed is that also the usually walking past it, 99% of the time you'll notice that the standby sign is off. There's no wait time. And the sign is just there. And when you're walking from afar, it looks like there's something there for you to do. Like if, for example, if you're a new person, if you're new to the Walt Disney World community and you're going to Disney World and you pick up a park map and you see what to do, you see that sign, you think, okay, something's there. And when you get over there, there's really nothing there anymore. And I know many people disliked it. It wasn't like what we see with Flight of Passage, what we see 5-hour waits. It was never that, and it would still never be. And I know somebody on Twitter posted pictures behind the scenes of like the Stitch animatronic all wrecked up or whatever it was being destroyed. So I think it was, and I have heard it's a Wreck-It Ralph. I think they're possibly thinking Wreck-It Ralph. And I've also actually heard that they wanted that it was rumor for it to be Incredibles ride, and they would have like you going through the super suit designing, which I thought was really cool. So I think nobody really enjoyed it. I'm sure there was one person who ran to it at 9 a.m. in the morning to get on it first, but I didn't really see anything with it, and I didn't run to that at 9 in the morning.
No, it wasn't you would kind of run past it because it's kind of like the race to Space Mountain. So we've got to say a big welcome to Nate and Veronica from Paging Mr. Mario. Guys, if you have not checked out Paging Mr. Mario, I don't know what you guys are doing. They are absolutely amazing, awesome Disney channel. So please, guys, go check out Nate and Veronica's Paging Mr. Mario, a really awesome channel. So Walter, Melissa, with Stitch's Great Escape, what would you like to see it replaced with? Like, if you were Imagineers, what would be like your top thing that you would put in there?
Well, I think what they should do is, first and foremost, I'm going to piggyback off something Corey said. I did Alien Encounter, and if you remember it, as they bring down the thing over top of your shoulders, there's a reason they're bringing that over top of your shoulders. They don't want people running, because that ride was really scary. It was. But to me, with the Stitch ride, it was just a lazy way for Disney to put something there.
Yeah.
They didn't change anything other than who the new alien was. Yeah. And that to me was a lazy way to put something there. Yeah. And it's too bad. And how I would want it replaced is a Stitch ride, some sort of simulator ride for Stitch there. I know they said Wreck-It Ralph, but Stitch belongs in Tomorrowland, and I think he should get a ride. Now, not every Disney character is going to have a ride or attraction. I get that. But I think he's popular enough that he could be a sustainable ride. Put some type of simulator ride in there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Stitch is a lovable character that I think he does deserve some sort of ride or show. So I think it'll be kind of interesting. The Tactical Traveler says, I love the Alien Encounters. I wish I was there for Alien Encounter. And it is a fantastic, when you look back on the ride and look at its history, even if you've never been on it, it is quite interesting, Alien Encounter history. Very quickly, just with January, the Tangled TV series. I would definitely check out the Tangled TV series. It is a really, just a quite nice show that kind of continues the Tangled story. And you can go and see that on Disney Channel. Right, we're going to move on to
too, right.
Same voices.
Yeah.
Yep, same voices. And the animation is a little different, but don't let that discourage you. So please go check out Tangled, the TV series. February was again quite a slow month. We had the end of season 1 of Spider-Man on Disney Channel, which was a great TV series. We had the closure on the 3rd of February of Circle of Life, the environmental fable, which we'll just quickly touch upon. Flower and Garden, which I think began in February. And the release of the highest grossing movie of the year, Black Panther. So let's just very quickly talk about Circle of Life, an environmental fable, an attraction that is very much was overlooked. It was kind of like, hey, living with the land? Oh, I'll go with living with the land. Oh, wait, Soarin' is only a 20-minute wait. Let's go on Soarin' and then go on living with the land. Oh, we've had enough of the land. Let's go and do something else. So Circle of Life was something that was everyone would just walk past this thing, and it's kind of like you wouldn't give any attention to it. Like if you, it's kind of like a brick wall was there, you wouldn't even acknowledge it. And it's a shame because the Circle of Life was actually quite a fun show. It featured great Lion King characters. But it was a shame that it left. Has anybody here seen the Circle of Life, an environmental fable?
We have.
Right.
We've seen it several times.
I would like your opinions on this very underrated attraction.
We enjoyed it, and it's funny to this day, and Melissa will agree. This is how we started doing recycling. It's true. We never used to recycle. I know. Don't kill us.
I think we might have lost everybody. Hello? Hello? Can you guys still hear me? Hello, 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 hello.
I'm here.
You're here? I think we might have lost...
I think it's great.
Okay, so I think we did lose you a little bit. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to do a little bit of a...
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was weird.
Are we back now?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's echoing on our end. I'm not sure what's going on.
Are you still there?
Yep, we're still here.
Okay, got you. No, I just was saying we loved it. We thought it was fantastic. I think it's amazing. Hey, Rob, welcome in, buddy.
Hey, Rob.
To add to the confusion more, here is Rob.
Blame it on Rob.
I tune in and like it's black and there's no one talking. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's Rob Fuzz, everybody. Welcome into Rob Fuzz, another special guest.
guys.
Please, guys, go check out Rob Fuzz's channel.
So
We are in the middle of talking about the Circle of Life, an environmental fable, which closed in February.
Yep.
And Walt and Melissa were just quickly talking about their experience with it.
Just great. It's a great way to get out of the heat. You're sitting down in some nice seats. It's like theater based, you know, the way it's set up. It's fun. I thought it was a great attraction. I really do. We missed it.
They might not have heard our story about, but it doesn't matter. We don't want to waste all that time.
Yeah, we won't waste your time. You heard the part about the recycling, right? That's how we started our recycling.
Again, that's pretty much what Epcot was designed to be, is to try and teach you about all these different things. But I want to get onto the main event of February. And I'm going to come to Nick first. I would like you to talk about, I don't know if you saw Black Panther. I'm assuming you've probably seen Black Panther. I would just like you just to quickly sum up what your feelings were with this movie, the highest grossing movie of the year.
Okay, so don't kill me in the chat. I have not seen Black Panther. I'm actually, some people might not know this, I'm not a huge like Marvel, all that stuff person. Not that I hate it, but I'm not huge for it. So I've heard very good things about it. I've heard that it was a great movie, and obviously it performed very well. And I think especially in Disneyland, they've been incorporating it. I think they had a meet and greet or two over there. So I think it's been, if it's in a Disney park or in the parks, then it's obviously doing something good for them. Sure.
And I think, and that kind of brings me on to, there are some people out here who aren't the biggest Marvel fans, and they aren't the biggest, into the whole this Marvel Cinematic Universe thing. And it is perfectly okay. It isn't for everybody, but what it has done for Disney is incredible. Now, Corey, Black Panther, I want to get your opinions on this movie.
So it was absolutely fantastic. Now and then what followed right after was Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Black Panther was probably one of the best standalone superhero movies. Not to like, I I preferred like things like Civil War and Infinity War, but those
Sure.
aren't standalone superhero movies. You have so many great characters bouncing off of each other. But as far as like a standalone superhero movie, I think Black Panther was probably one of the best.
Yep.
And I think it was great because what followed after was Infinity War, so it really helped pad that hype. And then you saw how obviously Infinity War did too. So
yeah, and it's quite surprising because we'll get onto Infinity War, I'm assuming, at some point. It's quite weird because they didn't expect how well Black Panther was going to do. It made more money than Infinity War did, and which is crazy to think because people loved Black Panther. They had an incredible villain with Michael J. Was it not Michael J. Fox? It
Michael
was
B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan as Kilton. Michael J. Fox? No. And it was just a really great movie. And I want to come to Rob, who, if you guys don't know me and Rob in terms of movies, we just have great banter about films and movies. So I just wanted to get his opinion on what he thought of maybe Black Panther or maybe Marvel as in terms of the movie industry.
I'm with Nick. I have not seen Black Panther, if you can believe it. I was going to watch it on the break. I have not seen this movie. It is the number one movie, though. It didn't. The other it made more.
It is the number one movie of the year in terms of sales in the United States.
Okay,
which is kind of crazy to think. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that. And now turning to Mouse Talk, especially Walt, you're a big Marvel fan.
I am a big Marvel fan. Melissa's a big Marvel fan too. I'll say this about Black Panther. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. It was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. There were a few things about it. At times, it didn't feel like a Marvel movie to me. I don't know why. It was just something about it. It didn't feel Marvel all the time. And that's just me being a movie prude.
Hey, we're all like that.
But it was very good. Some of the things I wish they didn't do with the villains, they did, which I don't want to give anything away because Nick and Rob haven't seen it, so I don't want to do
no spoilers.
No spoilers. Right. I'm going to keep it quiet. But I did like it. And I think for me, I know it was a movie that was very generational, I'll say. I mean, they had people down here in Baltimore busing people to the movies to see this movie. It was, it was very popular. And I totally get it. I enjoyed it. I really did. It wasn't one of my favorites. I mean, you guys all know my favorites. But I did enjoy it, and I love the character. And you're right, Michael B. Jordan as the bad guy, Killmonger, he was pretty cool.
Great performance. Cool. Really good performance.
Yeah.
Melissa, what did you think of Black Panther?
No, I like Walt. I enjoyed it very much, and I didn't get a chance to see it in the theater. I saw it. They did. I was working, of course, so I went out. I saw it at home, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the story. I liked the concept. Like Walt, I feel like maybe it didn't feel, maybe because it just was in a different area, different part. But I really did enjoy it. I thought it was a very good movie, and it deserves the acclamation that it got. So.
Awesome. And Haley says, it's such a good movie. We've got Corey Meets World is here. So we've got both Corys in the house. That's a Disney Channel reference.
Corey sandwich.
It's a Corey sandwich. I love it. So we've got Corey Fiasco here.
I don't think I've ever said hi to Walt in person either. Hey guys.
Hey Rob, good to see you, buddy.
Chat. So
we got Dre Houston coming in. We have R. Johns is here, Paging Mr. Morrow here. We've got such great people in the chat. Please, guys, make sure we're hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and just sharing out the stream to as many people as you can. We're having such a great time talking about 2018. And February was quiet, but I think I've got a feeling March was even quieter. So let's run through March. We had on the 5th of March, in terms of park stuff, King Triton's Carousel of the Sea closed in Disney's California Adventure. It's Tough to Be a Bug closed at Disney's California Adventure. A Wrinkle in Time was released in theaters. And in terms of TV, the second season of Jessica Jones was released on Netflix, and Star Wars Rebels aired their last episode. So not too much was released, not too major things happened in March. But I just want to quickly touch upon, if you guys, I'm just going to run through, and if there's anything you want to pick up on with that, with any of those, feel free to do so. So who wants to jump in?
Well, I'll say this about the second season of Jessica Jones. I don't know who's seen any of them on Netflix. The second season is good. If you haven't seen the first season of Jessica Jones, go see the first season. It's phenomenal.
Yep.
It's incredibly well done. The bad guy in that is a phenomenal bad guy. He's really, really bad.
And he plays the Doctor in Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor. So
yeah, he's also in Harry Potter. He's Barty Crouch.
He's also in Harry Potter.
Crouch. Yep. So, but the second season of Jessica Jones isn't quite as good as the first. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen Jessica Jones?
I've seen like the first 3 episodes of season 1, but I didn't get farther, not because I didn't like it, but I think we started watching it around the time we were about getting ready to move, so it kind of just fell out for us. But
that'll do it.
I liked it. I mean, I liked what I've seen of it so far.
Yeah, it's definitely a great show to watch. Maybe Nick a couple of years and then I would check it out. It's still a little bit, I think, quite graphic at points.
Can be, yeah, it can.
So I would maybe avoid it, maybe a little bit longer. But it is a great show. I do we could talk about the whole Disney Netflix thing a little bit later on. But that is kind of interesting what Jessica Jones did. Did anybody see Star Wars Rebels? Anyone watch that show?
Yes, we did. Our youngest loved it. He thought it was great. It's actually a fun show for kids. He loved it. He watched every episode. We watched a few of them, and they had some cameos in there in the first couple seasons of some of the original characters, which was really cool. Yep. And it's a fun show, and I think they incorporated it well into the parks. I know that when you would go to certain areas, you could meet some of the Star Wars Rebels characters in the parks. Might have been special events, if I'm not mistaken, but you could meet some of those characters.
It's awesome. We got another power channel in the house. We got Adam's Land. Hey, Adam. We got one of Rob's partner channels and one of our power channels. Adam's Land is here. It's good to see you, my friend. Feel free to join us if you'd like. Feel free
Rob,
to
I want to know what was for dinner tonight. What'd you have for dinner?
No burning steaks tonight, guys.
No burning steaks.
Always burning those steaks.
When we get to 100 episodes, we'll talk about our top 10 favorite moments of Disney Fiasco, and they'll definitely be in there. I
got more to add to the story, so I'm gonna when you get to that top 10, I'm gonna add a shocking, revealing tidbit to that story too. By the way, I was gonna tell them tonight. I think I'm gonna save it though. So
don't forget it. Don't forget it though.
You know, can I mention something about Rebels? When I went to, I was there the opening day of Star Wars Launch Bay, and that movie they show in the beginning, it was just amazing that I sat next to like a little girl, maybe she was like under 10 or something. And when they showed, they had all that other new cartoons, Rebels, all that stuff incorporated. And I looked at the glow on this girl's face. She was so happy about Star Wars Rebels. So I really love the way those animated shows and those cartoons and all that stuff brings to the younger generation Star Wars and everything. And my kid hasn't got into it yet, but I'm excited to share all that stuff with my kids too. So, but yeah, I think it's great.
I would say it's a good show. I was quite pleasantly surprised. I like the fact they told a new story. And actually, if I'm honest, I actually preferred a lot of those storylines over some maybe some spin-off Star Wars movies that maybe we'll talk about another time. We got Ray J here. How you doing, Ray J? And you Travel Vlogs, welcome into the stream. It's good to see everybody here. We've got Emma and John here. Our Disney Adventures Ohana are here. Some really great channels in here as well. Jill from Bell Southern is here. And did anybody see A Wrinkle in Time?
Did not.
No.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot. It didn't make a lot of money. It was a big
see
flop
that too, though. I really do.
Yeah, it's a shame because I think we could talk about Disney's live action year. It wasn't, I would say, the best year for them. A Wrinkle in Time did not nearly make enough money. If you look at their budget, they made a massive flop with that. It was not good. But we're going to move straight on to April, which was one of our big months of the year. So let me run through April. We had on 13th of April, Pixar Fest began in Disneyland, and that ran through till September 3rd. Paint the Night had a re-debut that came back to finish on November 7th. Disney's Animal Kingdom celebrated their 20th anniversary, and they also brought in Up, a Great Bird Adventure. And they also had the release of Avengers Infinity War. Now, this was a big. This was like the first big month of the year, in my opinion. Especially with, I think Animal Kingdom, kind of like you have a really. All right, thank you, Adam. I just read that. Thank you, and no problem, my friend. So yeah, Animal Kingdom celebrated their 20th anniversary. They've had a big change coming with Pandora, and they're bringing in some new things, some great things into Animal Kingdom. And I think everyone has been to Animal Kingdom in the last couple of years. And I just wanted to get your opinions on what they did and why you think Animal Kingdom has now become a really great park. So let's start off with Corey, the new Floridian.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a story time like I did the last thing I told a story about. The first time I went to Animal Kingdom, I was 8. So this is when the park first opened. I believe it opened at the end of '97 or beginning of '98, something like that. And I was there in the spring of '98. That was my first time there, and I just remember as an 8-year-old thinking like what's going on here. There was the area where they had all the animals, and most of them were asleep or they were just empty exhibits, and there wasn't really much going on at all. And then what impression that left on me was for like the next 8 trips, we didn't even do Animal Kingdom.
Wow.
I actually didn't go back. So that was my first experience when the park first opened in 1998, and there was nothing there. There was like a bunch of empty exhibits. There was like 2 rides or something. Yeah. I got a pin that said I got a sneak peek at Expedition Everest because that wasn't even there yet. I had that pin in one of my books that they were handing out because I don't know what it was. Like, it was like there literally wasn't any attractions really. Like there was a few things going on, but they were building Everest while the park was opening its doors for the first time, and you could get that pin. But I remember like that experience, like from like, and how it made my family feel was we didn't even go back until Pandora opened, or they haven't been back. My family has not been back to Animal Kingdom since it opened.
Wow.
Yeah, because I guess they had gone every 2 years, but I guess they were probably just upset because they're on annual pass holders. They paid for a park day and walked in and was like, what's going on here? But I went back for the first time when Pandora opened, and I mean I would say it was like a lifesaver, really. Yeah. There's a lot going on in the parks now. Like I go back to Animal Kingdom today without even going into Pandora, and I love it because you have Kilimanjaro safaris, you have all these stage shows that people say are really good, but I haven't seen. But I'll take your word for it. I need to go see them still. I need to go see Nemo still. I need to go see a lot of things still. But I'm sure they're great. But then you have all the animal walkthrough exhibits, which I love. And I mean, even not going into Pandora, I love all these things. I'm not sure when Kilimanjaro's came.
It
was there.
But, I think it was their opening.
Yeah, I think it was there.
Was it there?
Yeah.
Then we just didn't even make it that far back. But to be adding a ride, like especially Flight of Passage, that's like the biggest ticket ride at all right now. Like there's nothing more big and like nothing more that people want to get their hands on than a Flight of Passage Fast Pass ticket. So I mean, like that right there, like when I have friends coming from Boston right now to come visit us. And go to Disney maybe for the first time since they were 10 or whatever, or maybe the first time ever, and they'll be telling me, like, oh, we have 2-day tickets. What should we get? And my answer is always Magic Kingdom and Epcot. You got to do Magic Kingdom, you got to do Epcot. But now, because of the additions that they've given to both Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, I'm like, well, I don't know, like, because I could like almost argue that one of your park days out of those 2 are worth it if you can get a Flight of Passage Fast Pass. Yeah,
100%.
It's just that amazing. So
it is, and I would definitely say, like you said, that ride is the ride right now. Like there was a tweet that I saw earlier today that it was like a 295-minute wait. That's like 5 and a bit hours. That is crazy. But but trust me, believe me,
people still in line.
There's people still in line right now
from this morning.
Let me tell you something. The waits are not going to last till the end of next year, because next year things are going to change dramatically, because all that crowd that is right now in Flight of Passage that is still lining up as we speak right now are going to be heading over to Hollywood Studios. And that's where they're all going to be. And Nick and Walt and I were talking about this before the stream. As soon as Galaxy's Edge opens, those Flight of Passage people are going to jump ship and head over to Hollywood Studios. Nick, I want to talk to you quickly about Animal Kingdom's 20th anniversary. What is the one thing that you love about Animal Kingdom?
So you were kind of, I think I was lagging a bit there. The one thing that I like about Animal Kingdom?
Yeah. What's the one thing you love about Animal Kingdom?
That's a tough one. Geez. Well, I will say before I decide on one thing that I really like what they did with Avatar. I like the old, like, vintage Animal Kingdom, like I don't know how old, like, the Jungle Trek is. We did that on our last trip. It was amazing. Just the things that even kind of get overlooked. Now, I just quickly checked. Flight of Passage is like a 205-minute wait right now. That's over 3 hours.
That's all? Wow.
You're getting on that ride at 11 and going, and just really quickly backtrack. And I did see that tweet. It was 295 minutes. That's 4 hours and 55 minutes. So, for example, just think about this, everybody in the chat. If you were to get on the ride right now and you waited 5 hours, you would have gotten in line at 2 p.m. And that seems like forever ago now. You would have gotten in line at 2 p.m.
Crazy.
So I think, and my favorite thing about Animal Kingdom, I really like Avatar. I like what they've done with it. I like the theming of it, and Joe Rohde's impact on Avatar. And it really makes you feel immersed in that environment. It makes you feel like you're really there. And I like that Disney, that their Imagineers have done that. And it shows you, if Flight of Passage has a 4 hour, 55-minute wait, people are liking it. There's not a 4 hour and 55-minute wait for Small World right now. I can guarantee you that.
Definitely not.
This is the busiest week of the year, Nick. Check that one.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just shows that I really love Avatar, and I think Disney's showing that people like it. They sold, and I think, just a little fun fact here, that they sold 70,000 of those Banshees, those like toy babies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Oh.
They sold 70,000 on the first day.
That is
what? Wait, what?
Yeah, they ran out. They literally ran out.
Wow.
They did. They ran out of them. Hey, Dan, I'll say this: we were there for the when the park opened, Animal Kingdom 20 years ago as well. We were there in September of that year. It opened in '98. It opened Earth Day 1998, and we were there in September. And you're right. There's been a total change of where it was to where it is today. Asia wasn't even open back then. Asia was still being built. And that's where Everest is and things like that. But, I mean, they've gone from what used to be Camp Mini Mickey, which is where Festival of the Lion King used to be.
Yep.
When they closed that down, it's now Pandora. What a huge difference. But it's wonderful. The 20th anniversary was really nice. A lot of the merchandise they had for the 20th was really nice as well. I think they could have done a little bit of a bigger celebration. I know they did like a 5-minute stage show, and that was really kind of it. I think they could have done a little bit more for 20 years. But that park has 2 of the best stage shows in Finding Nemo and Festival of the Lion King, which, Corey, make sure you see both of those, please. And it's a great park. It really is. And the safari ride is magnificent.
And it's actually now has it's a viable nighttime park now too, which it never used to be. We would go spend the first half of the day there and then you wouldn't worry about it. But now the tree lighting up at night is beautiful, and being able to do a safari at night now and things like that. They've incorporated so many things, and they also have the show on the water, and of course Avatar. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that you can do that were just not even there within the last couple of years. So I think that's been great.
Right. And I think Corey wanted to jump in about Finding Nemo the musical.
Yeah, so I have seen Lion King.
Oh,
Okay. I'm glad that you have.
Nemo's better.
Nemo's better.
In our opinion. In our humble opinion.
I have not seen Nemo. I haven't seen Nemo, which I need to do. I need to see Up too.
I would disagree with the Festival of the Lion King just because I love the Lion King so much. But Finding Nemo the musical is phenomenal. We gotta move on to one other thing that happened.
I
in
love the
April.
Animal Kingdom too, Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry, Rob.
Park. And real quick, 2 seconds. The best thing I love about Animal Kingdom, been there 6-7 times. I get lost every time I go there, and I love that.
It's true.
It's part of the adventure. Just love it. It's just everything you guys said. I agree with. It's a great park. So
it's a big park. You're
It is.
right.
You do get all turned around.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I missed you there,
Okay,
buddy.
I just
it is amazing, and I think all of us here love that park, and it has changed dramatically from what it was. It was that half-day park that people really didn't love as much as we do now. So Emma John says, good night everyone, have a great live. Thank you so much, Emma John, for stopping by. And Dolwit Dad Jeff says, my daughter bought a Banshee on our last trip. So those Banshees are flying off the shelf. Get it? Fly.
No pun intended.
It's one of my bad jokes. Just very now, very, very quickly before because I know a lot of people may have not seen this movie yet. I just want people to describe in one word what Avengers Infinity War was. It has to be one word because I don't know if Rob and Nick have seen the movie.
I've seen it.
Rob has seen the movie. I don't know if Nick has, but I just want you to describe, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because this movie was the biggest movie of the year, in my opinion. I just want one word, what you think of Avengers Infinity War. If you had to convince somebody who's never seen it before and you got to give them one word to describe it, how would you describe it?
Go ahead, Melissa.
Because we got to move on, because we're only in April, so we got to get to December. So
Melissa said depressing.
It's depressing.
Right, depressing, because I'm assuming the latter half of that movie. Okay,
memorable would be
memorable. Fantastic, love it. Rob,
I'd say touching.
Touching. I would say yes, very, very much so.
I think, Dan, I think of you every time I think of that movie, because you and your reactions to it, your expressions of it, just the way you communicate about it. I really think of you a lot on it. Believe it or not, so. It is
an emotional film, and a lot of people are quite surprised by that film about how emotional it does get, especially with a Marvel film like that. Nick, have you seen? Or
I'm gonna keep this pretty short. My word is not applicable because I have to take a day to sit down and just watch the movies I haven't watched. And believe I do watch Disney movies. I'm just not. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen too many of these Avengers, Marvel, all this fun stuff. I have to take a day to sit down and just watch all these movies. But
I feel like the next day Nick is gonna text like one of us and go, Dan, that was so awesome. I love that. or it'll be, Dan, why did I waste my time?
One or the other.
And Corey, one word to describe Avengers Infinity War.
All right, ready for it?
Go for it. Oh.
And one sound.
Oh, he doesn't even need a word. And I would say the word for me, I think, would just be the thing is, it's just it's a movie that you just won't forget. Like you said, it's memorable. It's very emotional. I would go with emotional.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's perfect.
Because these, especially if you've grown up with all the films and you've watched the last 10 years of Marvel, and to get to this point and where we're going next year, it's gonna be interesting. Right, we're going to move into May. We're going to move very quickly into May. May was kind of a slow month, surprisingly. We had the incredible summer event in Magic Kingdom. We had Donald's Dino Bash in Animal Kingdom. We also had the release of Solo, A Star Wars Story. And then we also had the season finale of Once Upon a Time, one of my favorite shows that Disney released on ABC. So let's start off with the park stuff. What did you guys think of the Incredibles summer event as well as the Donald's Dino Bash over Animal Kingdom?
Really smoke and mirrors. It's
smoke and mirrors.
Everything's coming out next year. Let's just throw this garbage up. I'm not being mean to Disney, and a lot of people were angry about it. I thought it was kind of cool actually. I love Incredibles and everything. But a lot of people got upset because it was really smoke and mirrors just to say, hey, look at this, because that's coming, next year. So I don't mean to be negative to Disney, but
no, I think there's some truth to that. And I think a lot of people did miss there was a Monsters Inc. dance party and an Incredibles dance party there a couple of years ago. And I think they decided to bring that back, especially because I feel, this is peak time for them in the summer. This is the start. May is start of summer season, and they needed something to be like, hey, you're going to come to Disney and do some of these special events, some of these things that you won't get to do. And you could say it's kind of smoke and mirrors. It may not be something that, hey, I just want to go and ride Carousel of Progress another 3 times and miss this Incredibles dance party. And, I think you may have picked up on a point there.
Was your Guardians of the Galaxy show too in Epcot? Wasn't that the same thing?
That was in June.
So okay, they added a little.
We can add that in again. Guardians of the Galaxy dance breakout, awesome mixed dance party thingy-majig that happened in June as well. Again for the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. What did you guys think? Nick? What did you think of what they brought to these dance parties, these meet and greets at Animal Kingdom?
As far the Incredible Summer or the Dino,
either or is up to you. Okay. Go for it.
I'll say the Incredibles Summer Expo, whatever it was called, because I actually experienced that twice in June and August. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was really good. First of all, advertising for their new movie, but also how Disney really brought they took Tomorrowland up to another level. They had the stores filled with the Incredibles merch. They had the People Mover playing the Incredibles music, which I thought was a nice addition to it. They had the banners up. And then one thing I really like is that they still kept that Tomorrowland feel to it. If you were going Carousel Progress, you wouldn't have seen Mr. Incredible on there. You would still see the same attraction. If you went on, and then I like how if you go on People Mover, you still get the same exact attraction, except you just get the new music, which was kind of nice. I wasn't used to hearing the regular Tomorrowland music come back. I was like, let's bring back the Incredibles music. Because I actually really liked it. I didn't have an issue with it.
Sure.
And then I really liked how they had like Edna Mode driving around Tomorrowland. I thought that was a really nice touch. So I like that they did it. I thought that was great advertising for their new movie. I didn't really have an issue with it, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would agree. I think they did, it kind of gave it a little bit of an adrenaline boost. I think Dino Land needed something like that because it kind of was, hey, go and do Dinosaur, and then I would leave to go do something else.
Yeah.
So, Corey, what do you think of these two? It's kind of like a pop-up thing, isn't it?
I don't really, I didn't really care about them either way. The thing I like about them is that anything that arises or pops up that derives more traffic going in different directions is positive for me. So whether or not I care about it at all, like the fact that you're spreading people out more is fantastic. So I'll take it. I mean, if you want to do anything like that, I'll take it. But I was there during all these events, but I still generally go my own like way. So like I still like will go on Carousel of Progress while everybody else is like doing the incredible stuff, or like I'll still go on Dinosaur while everybody's doing the other stuff. But the fact that you're like breaking up the crowds more is definitely a plus.
It's a plus, I would agree. Now, I know Mouse Talk need to head off very, very soon because it's Walt's birthday. But so I would like, you just to quickly, firstly, just give a little bit of a mention about this. I want to get your opinion on Solo: A Star Wars Story, and then your favorite thing that happened this year.
Okay. Well, I saw Solo, a Star Wars movie. Melissa did not see it.
No.
And I think she didn't see it because of what I told her about it.
Spoiler alert.
I did not enjoy this movie at all. I'm sorry. I know that sounds terrible, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars, and Han Solo is like one of my favorite characters of all time. Him and Luke are like 1 and 1A. But I just did not, just something about it, it just was a disconnect for me. I just did not enjoy it. I don't know. It just was not, it was not good for me. I don't know what everybody else thought of it. I know some people loved it, and that's great. But I just, you know, and the kind of the throw-in cameo at the end of the movie, I won't give it away.
Yeah,
was kind of a throw-in. I know my son loved that, but it was like, that's just that's a throw-in to me.
Yeah, that's
smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a movie that they've rushed and they didn't. I just wasn't very happy with the plot, the story.
Yep,
that's how I felt about it. Chewie and Han, how they met. They could have done that better too. I mean, that's an iconic relationship, Han Solo and Chewbacca. They are. To me, that's a really close, iconic relationship.
It's
you don't
like
have one without the other.
It's like just as close as Starsky and Hutch. It's like
I mean, to an extent, right? Yep, I agree. So that's what we feel about that, and that's why Melissa hasn't seen it.
Yeah, now I want to watch it. So
very quickly, I just wanted to get from both of you your one favorite thing that happened this year that was Disney related, or because I know you guys need to.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's two. First off, it's Infinity War. We were waiting for that. That was epic and amazing. And then just going to Disney for the first time in October and experiencing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and experiencing the parks during the holiday of Halloween. That was fantastic to us. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no, that would be my agreement too. It's not so much as anything that happened in Disney, but for us to be able to experience something new and just really loving that. I agree.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what we would say.
Good picks, guys.
Fantastic. Now, guys, please go check out Mouse Talk on YouTube. They are absolutely wonderful, wonderful channel. Amazing Disney knowledge, and really been fun hanging out with you guys, being on streams. Really awesome Lord of the Rings stream that we did a couple of weeks ago. That was a lot of fun as well. So, guys, please go check out Mouse Talk's channel and go subscribe to them as well. And say happy birthday in the chat to Walt. And thank you so much for stopping by.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I don't get to do this often with you guys, so it was fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday, man.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Corey, take care. Nick, take care, buddy. Rob, you the man.
Take care.
Bye,
Thanks.
See you guys.
Thanks, Dan. Take care, everybody in the chat. Thanks, bye.
See you guys.
I'll be watching the rest of the replay.
We'll be listening in the car.
See you guys later. Take care.
Awesome.
Bye.
Now, I want to come to my fellow movie enthusiast, Mr. Rob Fuzz, about Solo, a Star Wars story.
I like Solo. I actually liked it. Was it the best movie ever? No. Was it fun, worth going to see? I have a group of people I go with. We call ourselves the Jedi Council. We go every year, and we had fun. You know, it was fun. It was a good day to go to the movies and everything. It definitely was not the best movie ever. I think we've talked about this many times, Dan, and which is a fun movie to go check out. So,
and Nick, have you seen Solo?
I have. I've actually seen a movie. It wasn't the best.
No.
Obviously, Rob, I'm kind of piggybacking off everybody. It wasn't the best, but I did enjoy it like I would any other movie. It wasn't the best. I think some improvements could have been made, but I did enjoy it.
Absolutely. I would definitely agree. There were definitely moments where I think they could have done a lot better. And it was, they did have two directors, one dropped out, and it was a Ron Howard film in the end. And I don't know. And Corey, with the whole Solo, I don't know if I'm not sure if you're a Star Wars fan.
Oh, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Okay.
But so I didn't see Solo until this Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
And I went into it thinking this is going to be the most disappointing movie of all time. Like, what are they doing?
That's funny.
And going in with that mentality, I actually came out and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Nice.
I thought it was better than The Last Jedi. I honestly did. I thought it was.
Wow.
I thought it was better than The Last Jedi as far as like all the points it hit. But we can get into The Last Jedi another time if you want. But I honestly, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I think I think a Star Wars stream would definitely be needed because we could talk forever for about Star Wars and the controversy, and it's gonna be interesting. And I just want to quickly touch upon Once Upon a Time. I think Once Upon a Time is a really great show. If you guys haven't checked out the show Once Upon a Time and you like your fairy tales that are kind of being flipped on its head and something really different and interesting, I'll definitely check out Once Upon a Time. So yeah, I would definitely check that out. Now, I think Mr. Rob Fuzz has to check out as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Believe that's all right.
As much as I love this show, it's just not on a good time for me. I'm always eating. I'm always burning steaks. I'm always doing something.
Well, I before you head off, I just want to say a big thank you to Rob Fuzz. You've really helped and supported my channel throughout the whole of 2018, and you know, when we meet Power Channels, that's exactly what I meant. You know, we I don't know how, you know, this whole invention of a Power Channel. I don't know how it came about, but you know, I just really enjoy coming in for Frankie Fridays and doing pub talk, and it's been a great having you in 2018. So guys, please check out Rob Fuzz's channel and his other channel, Drop That Rope. And very quickly, what is your favorite thing of 2018 in terms of Disney?
Oof, that is tough. That is tough. You know, I think, you know, and this is a weird generic. I thank Nick for posting. He's put subscribe to Rob Fuzz. That's why I wasn't thanking you. So thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. You know what my favorite moment is? You know, just not my favorite thing this year is I got to tell you, growing up, the reason why I like Nick so much is because Nick reminds me of me when I was his age. He always and I tell Nick that all the time. So keep doing what you're doing, Nick. I'm proud of you, buddy. You're doing great. Thank you for the great stream and thank you for the shout out.
No problem.
Growing up, I always thought I was like the #1 Disney fan. But like when I look back and I meet everyone on the community, Corey, Nick, you, Meg, everyone, Resort TV One, all my friends over there, all my Power Channels, all my friends, all my partner channels, just I'm nothing. You know, it was so nice to meet so many people that come from my world and love Disney so much. But I'm going to say my favorite thing is just going online last December, streaming for the year, making so many great friends and everything, and just everyone with the great knowledge of Disney and Disney World and all my new friends and everything. I really appreciate it. So that's what I'm going to say. Meeting fellow Disney fans and friends and everything. That's my favorite thing. So.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you in this community because you're such a great guy to help and support so many people. So again, Rob, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great new year as well.
And I love this show. I'll be watching and I'll be listening to, and I'm going to spend some time with the family. I told Dan I'm on like a hiatus this week, and I've been on a couple times, but don't say that. So, thank you, Dan. Thank you so much, Corey. Congratulations on the move. It's very nice to talk to you in person. I've talked to Nick online and everything, but that's awesome that you're down there, and hopefully you're enjoying Animal Kingdom, my favorite park. So take your time. And Dan, thank you so much. Happy holidays, Nick. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, guys. And thanks for having me on again. I'm sorry I got to jump, guys. But
hey, that's all right. Take care, my friend.
Thanks,
Enjoy
everyone.
the well done steak.
Take care.
All right, so I think let's move on to June. We're halfway through. We're gonna try and pick up the pace a little bit. We've got Caesar K coming in. How's it going, Caesar? We're gonna pick up the pace. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run through what happened. I just want you to pick one thing, just tell something you've really enjoyed about it, and then we'll move on to the next month. So June, we had the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix at Epcot. So we've already talked a little bit about that. Pixar Place closed at Disney's Hollywood Studios. But the next day, Toy Story Land opened, so I think Toy Story Land will be something to talk about. Incredibles 2 opened in cinemas. Big Hero 6, the TV series, opened up, as well as Luke Cage, the second series of Luke Cage on Netflix. Let's just do the elephant in the room. Toy Story Land. We all three of us absolutely love Toy Story Land. Especially, Nick and I have had good memories in Toy Story Land. We rode Slinky Dog and Alien Swirling Saucers with A Disney Life for Me. Hey, Gelly's Journeys, how's it going? Welcome into the stream. Let's go with Corey. Now, with Corey, there was something that Toy Story Land opened, and there was one thing that I really wanted to get, which Corey had, and that was the Toy Story Land backpack. And I loved ever since I saw his, I think it was a stream or it may have been a vlog. I was like, I can't wait to go to Toy Story Land. And I think out of all three of us, you may have been the first. Maybe Nick got to see it a tiny bit before you did, but you were the first guy I saw really go and see Toy Story Land for the first time. So what did you think?
Right. So we were there the day after it opened. No, we got to Disney the day after it opened, but then went like 3 days after it opened because we didn't go our first day there. That's right. So we were there like 3 days after it actually opened, and I loved it. It was my highlight of the year, I'd say, because we went down for 4 days, and those 4 days were the most we have ever done in such a short time frame ever. Like, I'm talking, we did we did Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom. We did all 4 parks in those 4 days, and every day was rope drop to close every single day. And this was during, like the 4th of July, when Magic Kingdom was open till 3 in the morning, and Epcot was open till 11, and Hollywood Studios would open up at like 7. So we were literally we were staying out to Magic Kingdom until 3 in the morning. And then we were getting up at 6, so 3 hours later, to go to Hollywood Studios at 7. Like, it was a jam-packed, action-packed day. This was our trip down for the opening of Toy Story Land.
Sure.
And I mean, that was my highlight. Honestly, like, going on that was my highlight of the year, that trip, And then Slinky Dog Dash, it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. It was amazing. It was like everything I expected it to be and so much more. I loved every minute of, and then waiting to go on Slinky Dog, like we were interacting with the army men. I didn't go on Swirling Saucers. I still haven't been on Swirling Saucers because it's too spinny, but I loved it. I loved every minute of Toy Story Land.
And you couldn't have summed it up any better. And even Melissa Gova, who Melissa and Walt were just here, they love it as well. Now Nick, you and I, we had a great time at Toy Story Land. Fortunately, I managed to get a couple of fast passes for Slinky Dog, and I rode it in the daytime. But I really enjoyed riding Slinky Dog Dash with you at night. I thought it looked beautiful, and we were with Miguel and Dee from A Disney Life for Me, and we rode Alien Swirling Saucers. That was a really, really fun time. So what did you think about Toy Story Land, and not just what we did, but just the way it looks, the design, and just something about that you liked?
Yeah, and I actually do have to pop out up here in a minute. But I really like Toy Story Land. I don't find anything wrong with it. I think a lot of people thought it was really small, but I don't really have an issue with it. I remember getting you on Slinky Dog. I talked to Mickey Mouse. We were able to get you on, and I really I just enjoyed the land. Alien Swirling Saucers, I thought it was good. I thought, and I remember saying this after the ride, it was a little short, and also when you were moving like from track to track, that was a little not rough, but you could definitely feel the difference. I like the Alien Swirling Saucers. I like how they incorporated that. And Slinky Dog, oh geez, it's one of the best rides on Walt Disney World property. The launch, the relaunch as well. It's all great. And I really like the theme with the land. And fun fact, for those of you in the chat who do not know this, now you know this. The shoe prints on the ground in Toy Story Land are a size 240. So fun fact, if you did not know, it's actually size 240 shoe. We learned that from a cast member. But
that's cool.
It's a really great land. I'm curious to see how it will perform when Galaxy's Edge comes. And if you want a little sneak peek of Galaxy's Edge, just go on Slinky Dog and right over that big, not drop, but over the
big... It's like an arch, isn't it?
Yeah, the big arch. I was about to say that. Yeah, the big arch. Then you'll see a little view of Galaxy's Edge, which I think is cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a really, really great ride, Slinky Dog Dash. And it reminds me a lot of... Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster, just on a much bigger scale, because they do have the rocking carts, which is really, really nice. Now, Nick, if you just said you might need to head off soon as well. So I just want to give again a massive shout out to Nick from Magical News Live. Without him, we spoke about this on your channel when you did a live stream earlier in the week. Nick did a fantastic job this year in terms of YouTube, making all these connections and being a real big part of this Disney community, and it was a pleasure to meet you out in Walt Disney World this year, and we had a lot of really great times. So thank you so much again for stopping by. It was a real pleasure. And just give me one thing that you loved about this year. It could be something to do with YouTube or something to do with that's something that you might have seen or done, and then any plugs as well.
Well, I'll say two things. One will be really small. YouTube, the support from all the community. I know all of us as content creators, we know the support from the community is awesome. And then I think, and I'm going to just say it, Toy Story Land, it was really great. June 30th, it opened 6 months ago, and it feels like it's kind of been around for a long time, but it really hasn't. And Woody's Lunchbox is awesome. They did great theming with that. I love the rides. And it kind of feels like Toy Story Mania is new, even though it's still the same ride. They just switched the entrance from the front to the back. And Slinky Dogs, again, awesome. Did it during the day and at night, and it's a great ride. And yeah, I just love Toy Story, and I love what they've done with it. And every time we go to Hollywood Studios, I definitely make an effort to go in there.
Awesome. And you can guys go check out Nick from Magical News Live. He's going into really exciting times with his YouTube channel, moving down to Florida as well. He's going to become a Floridian as well, which is going to be awesome, having Corey and Nick in Florida, which is absolutely awesome. And you go check out Magical News Live on YouTube as well. So please go and give him a like and a subscribe on his channel. So Nick, thank you so much, my friend, and Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year to you guys as well.
Happy New Year, Nick.
Take care, my friend.
All right, bye.
Awesome. And we are down to the fiascos. All right, let's speed things up. July was very, very, very slow. The new Bing Bong Sweet Shop opened in Disney's California Adventure. Ant-Man and the Wasp was released. Food and Wine, I mean, I had to put that in there. And Disney finally got the rights and paid $71.3 billion for 21st Century Fox. Now that's the big story. And what do you think about this whole deal with 21st Century Fox?
Disney's taking over the world, and that's fine with me. That's still totally okay. But yeah, they just, you really think about it, like, what's their competition? They pretty much, I mean, they pretty much monopolized the
theme park industry.
Like they monopolized the good stuff. So
yeah.
Disney, like Star Wars, Marvel, 21st Century Fox, their own IPs, Pixar. I mean, they own all the good stuff now. So I mean,
you look at it now, and it's like Universal Studios can't compete with Disney. It's way too small compared to Disney. The DC EU, Warner Brothers DC universe can't compete with Marvel. DreamWorks is trying to compete with Pixar. Disney, like you said, they have monopolized the board. They have taken it over. So the $71.3 billion, that is an insane amount of money. But that was the big thing in July. So we're going to head on into the later half of August. Again, not so much stuff going on in August. Apart from the Disney Dan 2018 trip playlist will be in the description box down below, obviously. So please go check that out. That was the main thing in August. Christopher Robin, the movie Christopher Robin, opened as well. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party began in August, which is kind of weird to say. And 20th announces the 20th of August, they announced the Mickey's 90th exhibit in New York City. Now, let's channel our inner Meg and talk about the 90th birthday of Mickey Mouse and the exhibit. Now, I don't know if you went to the exhibit, but there were plenty of people who did go to the exhibit. Mickey Mouse 90 years old. Why is this such a massive thing for everybody all over the world?
Well, so I didn't get to go to the exhibit. I only got to see it through Meg's video. But I mean, yeah, Mickey Mouse is 90 years, and it's crazy because you got to think like this is something that Walt, sat down at a desk and he sketched up this guy, and then they had a little bit of a bicker back and forth about what the name should be, and like this is the history. This is where I always interject with my little smart aleck comments when people say it all started with a mouse. I'm like, well, actually, Alice actually came first.
Yeah.
But I know I'm just being like, I know I'm being ridiculous because Alice was the Alice comedies. That was before Walt Disney was his own brand.
Yep.
He wrote that for somebody else. That was for somebody else's enterprise. He was only able to retrieve the rights to it later on down the road. But what really started his own brand was Mickey. And, that he sat down and sketched them after, getting stabbed in the back. And this is what fired it all off. This is why everything is the way it is. You just got to think. Not only if Walt didn't sit down that day and sketched up this mouse we call Mickey now, not only would we might not have Disney World, we might not have Disneyland, we might not have all these movies, everything that we know and love wouldn't be what it is now. But just think of how that would affect the rest of the world.
Yeah,
the entire world would be different. The impact that this one sketch had on the past 90 years
it's crazy,
incredible. Like we would be living in a completely different world. Like it would have effects that we wouldn't even imagine, I'm sure.
And you're totally right. And you look, say what it is, Walt Disney the man invented animation. We would not have animation as it would be today if it wasn't for him and his creations. And I mean, we could have a completely whole Disney Fiasco show on Alice in Wonderland, because I think that'll be, you're the expert with Alice in Wonderland, and we can talk about Alice's Wonderland and the story behind that. But, if Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was not taken by this other company with Universal Studios at the time, we wouldn't have had Mickey Mouse. We wouldn't have what we have today. And there is nowhere in the world, you can go to anywhere in the world and you'll know this mouse. It is absolutely incredible of what he's done. Mickey Mouse is a icon. Apart from, I think, Bugs Bunny, he's the only animated character on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That tells you something as well. He is a very special person, and a very special month for him and the 90th birthday. Did you get to see Christopher Robin?
I did not.
Right, neither did I, and I think it'll be something that I think people in the chat will be able to watch as well. Let's move on to September. September and October were very quiet. The final season of Iron Fist on Netflix was finishing up, and A Bug's Land was closed in Disney's California Adventure. So not too much happened in September, slowly ending the summer season, moving into October, where we have Daredevil Season 3, and Rafiki's Planet Watch closes. Now, I know Meg was a big fan of Rafiki's Planet Watch, but I want to play Armchair Imagineer, and I want you to dream up what would you like to see replace Rafiki's Planet Watch, or would you keep it the same? What would you do with Rafiki's Planet Watch?
So Rafiki, this is this I get a little torn up about that. I'd love something to go in its place, but it's a conservation area, right?
Yeah.
So that's where they take animals that they're injured and they can't fend for themselves, and they save them or whatnot. Unless they'd have to move that facility somewhere else. I just don't know how they would replace it, and it's disappointing because it's such an off and nowhere lands place.
Yeah.
But it also just gives you something else to do, and it also disperses the traffic, and it's not in the way. It's hey, if you want to go do this thing, you can go do this thing, and we always would do it. I love seeing the big giant reptiles and stuff, and Haley loved the petting zoo, and it stinks that it's closed, and I want answers to why it's closed and what they're doing with it, because, you know, it's basically, I mean, what Rafiki's Planet Watch is behind Animal Kingdom, they have an animal conservation area. And Rafiki's Planet Watch is basically just a train that takes you just.
Oh, I think we might have. Oh, is he back?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
Okay.
I was getting a phone call. It's just a train that takes you from Animal Kingdom to this conservation area. And I think it's, I want to know why they got rid of it and what their plans are. I'm just curious to what it could possibly be.
Yeah, you know, I think it's very weird because with that, you know, it's something that makes Animal Kingdom quite unique. And you know, the thing is with Rafiki's Planet Watch, I'm going to be honest, not a lot of people really go there. It's not something that people really do. And you know, you got Pandora, you got Expedition Everest, you got Dinosaur. It's not the place you would really go to straight away. And it's a shame because it is a great place to go. With me and where Disney is going with its IPs, you know, I've said this a billion times on Disney Fiasco. I could imagine getting on a train and transforming the whole environment and going into Africa. We're already in Africa, head into Wakanda. I could so totally see that, make that area Wakanda. But again, it's taking that conservation part out of there, which is going to be a little bit controversial. I know Meg absolutely loves that area. And I know, Corey, you're a big fan of your animals and especially of, you know, your pet Tiki. Like, you know, you love your animals. And it is quite an interesting thing that they're going to do out there at Disney's Animal Kingdom Rafiki's Planet Watch. So, yeah, interesting times. We are heading into November now. November was a big month, surprisingly. November was a very, very big month. I'm going to run through it very quick. So, on the 4th of November, the Trials of the Jedi, which was the Jedi Training Academy over in Disneyland, that closed. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party began. The 90th Celebration Spectacular aired for Mickey on ABC. The Nutcracker in the Four Realms, the kind of Fantasia live-action film, came out. Ralph Breaks the Internet also was released this month as well, last month. Big news that we found out that there was no air conditioning on the Skyway carts. That was very big news. We also had a new resort that was announced at Bay Lake where River Country was, which is also very interesting. And finally, Illuminations was being replaced by a new show called Epcot Forever. So lots of big stuff happening in November. So let's just talk about the films first, and then we'll head into the parks. Let's talk about, did you get to see The Nutcracker in the Four Realms or Ralph Breaks the Internet?
So for me and Haley personally, November this year was probably one of the craziest, most jam-packed, nutty months of our lives. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. She can tell you if she feels the same way. But for me, November, we saw Ralph Breaks the Internet. Right. And that was like, I didn't even plan to see it. It was like on a whim. Like, it was like late at night at like 9 o'clock. We were just like tired from whatever else was going on that day. And we were just like, hey, let's go see Ralph. We just saw Ralph. I loved Wreck-It Ralph. I loved Ralph Breaks the Internet. I thought it was great. But I didn't see any of the other movies. I know I wanted to see Nutcracker. I wanted to make a point to see it, but we never got the chance to.
Yeah, and guys, if you've just joined Disney Fiasco over the last couple of weeks, you would know that Corey made the plunge from Massachusetts all the way down to Florida, which is why November was a very, very big month. And we hadn't actually seen you for a long time on Disney Fiasco, which, you know, for obvious reasons. And, you know, we were so excited for you to move down. And so even just looking back on this year, this was probably one of your biggest things that happened. So yeah, it's certainly something very, very big and to happen. But Ralph Breaks the Internet was a great movie. Really enjoyed Ralph Breaks the Internet. No air conditioning on the Skyway carts. Now that surprises me. You know, it's something so small, but everyone was like going crazy about it. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, and so I'm the type of person that functions very well in hot weather.
Yep.
Not so much in cold weather. but I function fine in hot weather. You know, like from being in the Navy and California and Hawaii and Mississippi, I function very well in hot weather. Cold weather, nope, can't do it.
Yep.
And I feel like just taking a step back, the Skyway, probably you'll be getting enough breeze. So first of all, Florida doesn't get that hot. You know, it gets hot, and especially for somebody who doesn't like live in a warm climate.
That's me.
It feels like 98, 99, 100 degrees. That feels hot. That's not that hot.
Yeah.
But, you know, people would disagree with me. That's fine. But I feel like personally, I don't care about air conditioner on the Skyway at all. I feel like the breeze will be nice.
Yeah.
I can understand the argument for them people wanting air conditioning on the Skyway, but I mean, it doesn't bother me, you know.
To be honest, you know, they're going to be on the Skyway for 10 minutes, not even that, to get from one resort to one park or another resort to another resort. For me, it's not a big deal. Just, I'm sure they'll have windows. Look, I think people are making too much of a hassle. Christy said, that is weird. I would think that they would put heating and air in those, with them being small paces. It seems weird not to have it. I think they would get sweaty, smelly pretty fast. Yeah, I mean, that could be one of the big caveats of it, but we'll have to see how it goes. But Disney are very good. You know, speaking of experience working for Disney, they are very, very good. We got Tracy Lally is here. Corey's mom is here.
Yeah, that's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Tracy, what is going on? Good to see you. Welcome into the stream. Now, let's talk about two more things that happened in November. River Country is getting a complete reboot and having a new resort surrounding Bay Lake. Now, do you think this is a good thing? Maybe something a long time coming for River Country? Because I know River Country, a lot of people don't know what River Country is.
So I think any sort of innovation in putting things there that previously didn't have anything there is always a plus, because like I said, like even if I'm not attracted to that area, other people will be. And that's less traffic in all the other areas. So I think any sort of adding without replacing is always a huge positive, regardless if I'm super enthused about it. Like I personally, like, I'm not super enthusiastic about this edition. Like, it's not like something that's pulling me like, oh, I have to go see this. No, like not so much, but I appreciate it coming up, because there are going to be people who do want to go see it and are super enthused about it. So that's going to, you know, spread out the groups of people, spread out the crowds in different directions. And I'm always all about that.
And you know what's also good about having a new resort? New food. So
that is true too. We're gonna get new dining locations. So
yeah, I mean that's always a plus. But the last thing I want to talk about in November, which I know you will definitely want to comment on, because I know you love Epcot a huge amount, is the replacement of Illuminations. Now, Illuminations has been here for God knows how long. I love Illuminations Reflections of Earth, and but it's going to be very it's going to be upsetting, because, you know, if you guys were here when Wishes was still around over at Magic Kingdom, they changed that to Happily Ever After. I was very upset seeing Wishes for the last time, and I think people will be like that with Illuminations, because Illuminations is a big draw for a lot of people, and it's a fantastic fireworks show. So you guys should go and see it before it heads out. So, but I want to hear from you, Corey, being the Epcot fan that you are. What do you think of Illuminations? Do you think it's time for a reboot? What do you think, my friend?
Okay, so this is what I think. And I really hope that we don't have a Stitch's Great Escape here on our hands right now, where you're replacing something that doesn't need to be replaced. But I love Illuminations. I've always loved Illuminations, and this is before moving here. But now I have a VIP seat to Illuminations every single night, because actually, if we go out on my balcony right now and take a seat on my patio furniture, we can just sit there and watch Illuminations from our balcony. I have a front row seat.
Yeah, that's so cool.
They're replacing, and Illuminations is great. Like, it's, being there in person is way better than being on my balcony, because all the countries, like, they light up those torches. All the countries light up. You get a view from it from any country you want. There's secret spots. There's lots of awesome secret spots that, like, nobody really knows about, that you can watch Illuminations from, that people are never at, even on, like, busy days.
Yeah.
I love that. And I'm just saying, like, this new show, they better, like, be like, we're replacing Illuminations because this new show we have is so awesome and next level that we want to give it to you. They better not be like them just doing it to do it, or like Rob was saying, like, oh, smoke and mirrors game, to be like, oh, hey, look what's going on here before, like, in between we waiting for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Look at this new nighttime show. Just don't do it. Don't do it. I hope it's good. I'm assuming it will be. I'm assuming it will be great, but I hope it is.
You know, I have every faith in Disney. I really do. I don't think they've really put a foot wrong. And I think they're going to do an amazing job anyway. And you know, Corey, it is 30 minutes till 9 o'clock, which means 30 minutes till Illuminate. No, I'm kidding. But that's so cool that you are literally right there, and you can hear it, and you can see the flashes and see the fireworks from your own home, which is pretty cool. You know, I'm gonna miss Illuminations. I really am. So many amazing memories, and watching it with so many great people, and I look forward to seeing what happens in the next couple of years. Finally, rounding up the year in December, really not too much happened in December. We had Mary Poppins Returns, the film that I actually just saw yesterday, which was really fun, a really great film. Great acting, great performances. And we also had the debut of the Snow White dinner at Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge. And that again has had heard a lot of great reviews. A lot of YouTubers have checked that out. So if you guys have not checked out Snow White's Artist Point character meal, I'd check that out. So yeah, not so much happened in December. Is there anything that I have missed over this year, Corey, that we might have not touched on yet?
So I just wanted to say those two things you just mentioned with Mary Poppins and Snow White at Artist Point, both on my to-do list. People talk so highly about the new dinner at Artist Point. I've never been to the original, but I hear that it's leaps and bounds better than whatever the original was, which again, I can't vouch for, but it sounds great and I want to do it. And we've been meaning to go see Mary Poppins for a while now, and we're probably going to do it right after New Year's.
Awesome.
But anything I will say, if you are a Marvel fan, I know this was part of like lesser news as we were moving through, but Ant-Man and the Wasp was a great watch.
Yep.
It was a great movie. And if you are a Marvel fan and you've watched Infinity War and you're excited for the new movie, watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, because it gives you some connecting chords that you're going to want while you're getting excited and hyped up for the new Avengers movie. I will say that.
I would completely. I really enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I loved the original Ant-Man. I loved Ant-Man in Civil War as well, and I think a Marvel film that was kind of swiped under the rug a little bit this year, because we had, Avengers: Infinity War, we had Black Panther, and heck, even Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That was also a really great film. So Ant-Man was a little bit lost a little bit this year, but I really did enjoy it. Now, looking ahead into 2019, there's so much to look forward to, which we're not going to cover now, because obviously we'll talk about that nearer and later on in next year. But I just want to I've got one more question, Corey, and I just want to ask you, what was your favorite thing about this year in general, whether it was moving or being around Disney a little bit more, or with something to do with YouTube? What was one of your, if you can't think of one, like a top three, what were some of your highlights this year?
So that's a tough question to just pick one thing. My number one thing that happened in Disney is the opening of Toy Story Land. Definitely that. But on like a personal level, I mean, I started YouTube this year. In 2018, I started YouTube this year, and in that process of starting this year, I met so many awesome people, formed so many awesome bonds and friendships, and and you know, near the beginning of the year is when you know, I started on YouTube, and I just started meeting all you guys. You know, starting with you and Nick and Cargo and Meg. You were some of the first people that I met on here, and moving forward now into the end of 2018, that evolved into, you know, we just moved here, and you know, I sit down and talk to Haley, and I'm like, you know, there's always somebody. We always have a friend here. Like, there's always a friend from somewhere in the world here visiting on vacation. It's the coolest thing. And just the all-encompassing fact and the all-encompassing, I guess, magic of that would be my personal favorite thing that happened this year. The whole 2018 has been a great year, I think. On a personal level, like just from start to finish, the whole evolution of it. I'm just really happy with how it all went, and I'm really happy with meeting all you guys, and it's been great.
And just speaking again on my personal level and this whole YouTube thing, just meeting you and Meg at the start of the year, forming this show that we have, that I can't believe we're on 33 weeks of it. And, you know, not all of us have done every single show, but it's kind of like, it's not, I'm going to say it right now. I said this right at the start of, we've done this show. It's not my show, it's our show, because, you know, we are, you know, this little tight, you know, really fun group. You know, it's weird because we talk to each other most days now, and just the way we've bonded over this year has been fantastic. And I'm so excited for next year, and we've got lots of exciting things hopefully planned for next year, and just to see where all these YouTube friendships are going to go. And again, everybody here in the chat, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who was here. So Mouse Talk, Rob Fuzz, Nick from Magical News Live, Cargo, everybody here in the chat as well right now. I just couldn't be any more grateful to all the friendships that I've made, and just again a massive shout out to my partner channels, because you guys have, you know, made my year as well. Shame that Megan couldn't be here, but you and Megan have just been, it's just been so much fun this year. Again, it's been awesome seeing you guys pretty much start YouTube at the start of this year and just skyrocket, because you guys are just absolutely awesome at what you do. You are so passionate in Disney and everything. So I just want to say a big, you know, congratulations of everything this year, and thank you for everything that you've done this year.
Yeah, man, and same goes to you. I really look forward to August. I can't wait for you to get down here in August, and we're gonna have to keep on Meg about trying to get a trip down here too, because it'd be awesome to just have everybody together. It'd be great. Yeah, and you know, people are moving. Like, lots of people are moving down here. Nick's moving down here. I mean, so the amount of people that will actually be able to get together in one spot. I mean, I'd be surprised to see it, to see what it actually ends up being. Like, we could probably get like a huge crew together in August. Like, we need to set it up. Yeah. We need to set up a day where it's like, this day at this place, like, everybody that can get there, let's get there. And like, I mean, we're putting it out here at the beginning of 2019. So I feel like, you know, people will have times to plan, but let's do it. Let's set something up. Let's get everybody who can make it out together, and
let's go eat.
Yeah, let's go eat for sure. Let's go eat. And then let's and then like we can all come over here and shoot a live from you know, my house. That'd be awesome. That
would be awesome. And no, that's it. And again, just thank you so much for everything. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Guys, if you've not checked out my partner channels, I really recommend that you go check out, firstly, Megan from Mickey's Magic. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it in tonight for you know, other reasons, but she is absolutely a wonderful channel, and she's absolutely awesome. So please go check her out. She just crossed 1,300 or 1,400 subscribers. It's absolutely amazing what she's done, and please go check her out. Absolutely amazing. And my other partner channel, Corey Fiasco, I mean, dude, this guy is the ultimate pin guy, Disney pin guy, and just a really awesome, lovable channel that you guys should definitely check out. So if you guys haven't checked out Corey Fiasco, please go check him out. He's again just awesome. You can check it out on Instagram as well at Pin Fiasco.
Yeah, guys, and make sure you check out Disney Dan too. Oh, well, you're actually already here, so.
Yeah, you can check me out also on Twitter and on Instagram as well. And actually, I may have some merchandise on redbubble.com, so please go check that out. Big shout out to some of the people who've already checked out the merch shop and checked out the merch and the design. So thank you so much. Leave a like on the merch as well, so I can know what to do and change for you guys as well. I've got a big announcement before I leave as well. Disney Food Fridays will be returning this week. Been a long time coming. I know people have been asking for me to do Disney Food Friday. And just a big thanks to all the moderators. You guys did an absolutely wonderful job this year for me and for today. I know today was a very long stream. I said this was going to be a very special video. We are looking forward to next week. We've got some awesome people that I would like to bring on to Disney Fiasco in 2019. This show has been amazing. We are heading our way to a year of this show, and that'll be 52 weeks in a row, and it's just exciting to see where this show goes. And Corey, is there any plugs that you want to do? Upcoming videos, what was your, just shout out your last videos that you've done, because I know you've had some really kickers lately.
So Mickey's Magic is going to be here in about a week, so we'll be together quite a bit, and look forward to seeing that. That's
gonna be a lot of fun, guys. I think this is the first time, right? You and Megan going to be hanging out.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be I just booked us. I was just talking to her last night, actually. I just booked us all a dinner at Jungle Skipper Canteen. Can't wait. It's my favorite place. I don't know if she said if she had already been or not. But I'm excited. The menu's a good variety, and I'm excited. Absolutely.
And the jealousy is slowly brewing inside of me.
The dessert is so good. It's small, but when you do go, the Kungaloosh, man, it's so
I
good.
love Skipper Candy. We could talk. We're not going to go into our food fiasco moments because that would take a lot of even more time. But yeah, super excited to have Megan and Corey and Haley all hang out next week. So please go subscribe to Corey and on Megan's channel as well, because they'll be posting a lot of vlogs and maybe photoshopping me in as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining this very special episode. Have a wonderful new year, and I'll see you all in 2019. Have a great new year, everybody, and live your life with a smile each and every day, and I'll see you guys real soon, guys. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.